Yeah. And so normally when you record, what's happening is that you only see me, which is important. So you see the bigger picture. So today we are practicing our somatic session on a chair. And I'm really for props. I'm really for using props, because when we use props, we can avoid doing something bad to ourselves. So it's very important to be able to say, well, today I just need a chair to that practice. And you do all the thing with the chair. Okay. So, how is the experience, even if you don't need a chair? Okay. I want you today to explore how is this experience on a chair. So to really be into this present moment. Okay. When I'm on a chair, for example, I feel that doing this is easier. Or if I'm on a chair when I'm a back pain, I have a back pain, yeah, I can actually manage to do something, but in a different way, and then I can move. Okay, so that's uber important. So let's be today mindful in the present moment. On est dans le moment présent et on va étudier ce qui se passe dans notre corps quand on pratique sur une chaise. Ok. And just here, as we are on the chair, let's put the hands onto the thighs. So just we encourage the system to be downward, to go towards the earth. And just pause and explore how this experience is actually now being for me. Maybe it's the first time you're practicing on a chair. Maybe it's an idea you even didn't think about. And that could be something you can use, especially when there is a pain in the foot, in the back, in the neck, in the shoulders. And you're just thinking, oh, I'm not going to practice because today I don't feel good. And knowing that the consistency of the practice is so important. And that's why I left the recordings for so long, and when I was not able to teach, because I wanted you to really repeat, because the consistency, it's what will unstuck things. So let's take one hand onto the heart and one hand onto the solar plexus. And maybe have an intention for today. On va avoir une intention pour aujourd'hui. And the intention, the global intention for everyone, it's to explore in the present moment this practice in a different way. C'est d'explorer la pratique aujourd'hui d'une manière différente. And what we want to increase the body awareness. Notre intention, c'est d'augmenter la conscience du corps, notre conscience corporelle. We're going to inhale 2 times and exhale, open the mouth. And inhale 2 times. So I'm not seeing too much on my back. So if I had the chair, I'm not on the chair completely. I'm a bit in the front because what I want is to create a little movement onto my body. One more. That maybe I can release my hands on my thighs and being present with what this breath was for. Maybe you already feel some awareness and awakening into the heart area. And let's do our having practice with hands on the shoulders and going down. And I don't know if you use this in other moments than just our practice, but it's really something that you can use before an interview, before a meeting that you're not feeling very good with, or just when you wake up in the morning to tell your body, well, I'm taking care of you. Let's take the hands together and pass one hand onto the arm and one hand onto the other. Just the sensing the skin, the sensation, and always putting your attention back to what you are doing. So important today. Back onto the shoulders and the elbows. And then maybe the hands onto the forehead and on the side. Today, each time the mind is going away, we just bring it back to what we are doing and the sensations and how we are doing it. So here, for example, we can go to the side of the nose and the cheekbones and maybe the temporal muscles, and then cheekbones and temporal muscles. And then maybe going to the whole face, like you put water or your cream in the morning. And then the side of the neck, you start to massage. And maybe for me, for example, today it's like, oh, it's a little bit tense. So maybe I should go less intense. Okay, so just observe that and adjust. And the other side. And so I do it and how does that feel? And we can go back to the hands towards each other. And just release the hands and receive. And sometimes I just say words and what does that mean for you to receive? And really, is there anything in the body now, just now, that is telling you that there is something, an information coming now? Relaxing, getting ready for the practice. And we're going to continue the next invitation. We're going to do breathing. Breathing is important in this time of the year, especially because we want to increase the capacity for the winter, to increase also our immune system. So we're going to inhale in 4 times. I always call it the fish breathing. So we inhale like we sip, we stop, 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 and then we open the mouth to exhale. So inhale deeply through the nose, through both nostrils. Exhale, open the mouth, exhale. And let's start. And when you do it, try each step you stop, try to relax the diaphragm, like you want the diaphragm to get bigger. And when you exhale, you really let the exhalation getting all the things out from the night, from whatever you need to take out. One more. And we come back to a neutral, natural breathing. Again, explore. And maybe something happened here into the rib cage. And we're going to do a few Nadi Shodhana, so index and middle finger onto the palm. We're going to use the right nostril, the right thumb to close the right nostril. You inhale through the left. You exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. You continue at your own pace, inhaling through one nostril and following the air that is touching your nostril and inside how far it is going up. And then when you exhale again, you feel the air with maybe a different temperature getting out from the other nostril. When you inhale again, so there is a fresh air entering and refreshing your nostril. And then when you exhale through the left, you also having a different, maybe a different temperature when you exhale. So when we are in the present moment with this breathing, for example, right now, we increase the awareness of these little things, the temperature, the texture. Maybe you want to go slower. Maybe you want to go faster. The next time you inhale left, you're going to do your last one. La prochaine fois que vous inspirez à gauche, vous faites votre dernier cycle. And as you finish, again, just observe. Maybe nothing is present, but the more you get used to be conscious about what you're doing, the more you will get in touch with this subtlety of sense. How do I feel when I do this breath? And when there is a felt sense of how do I feel when I do this breath, and the more you do it like that, maybe you will want to do it even when we don't have sessions. And today, especially when we practice today, the more you will understand how you feel in your physical body, the more you will be able to adjust and say, yes, today I need a chair. I can't sit with crossed legs long. So let's take the hands onto the lower belly and increase. So we will inhale lower belly, moving up to the middle chest and the upper chest. And then we exhale upper chest, middle, lower, and belly, rib cage, upper chest, and upper chest exhale, middle, belly. And I put myself on the side to show you. And I am also doing a movement. And maybe you want to add the arms. And exhale with the mouth. And again. And so how you do so, you will adjust. How far do I need to go so it feels good? Maybe it's little. Maybe it's just, the subtlety of a movement, of a little movement. Maybe you want to really have a big sound. To create ripples inside your body. Because maybe your body has something stuck in it that you would love to unstuck. Maybe now you can take your hands in the front and hands together, and you inhale, you open. One more. And you release and you receive. So all this energy that we created into the upper body, is it possible to send that energy downward to allow like sediment to go down and to maybe go and heal some places. And then on the chair, you take your left hand onto the right knee, and you take your right hand either on the back of the chair or on the seat on the back. And you gently go into a twist, but let's do a twist with pulse. And so you gently exhale, 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 and each time you exhale, your belly goes in. À chaque fois que vous expirez, votre ventre va à l'intérieur et ça crée une petite pulsation, une toute petite pulsation au niveau du ventre. You pulse with your belly. You don't pulse with your spine. Like you want to massage your organs. And let's go to the center and to the other side. So we don't go full and we don't go intense. We go smooth because it goes into the belly. My belly goes in. And I come back to the center. Let's put the arms like I hold a tray. And you're going to exhale and go to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. And this time you extend your left arm when you go to the right, and then you come back to center, and you extend your right arm when you go to the left. And each time, check on, especially Natalia, if you have belly, back problem, just can you pull the belly in and not at all contract your back when you do so? And so it's very soft. My neck also is super soft. Exhale when you extend. Inhale when you come back. Exhale when you extend. Inhale when you come back. Let's do one more on each side. And coming back to center. Let's move like a wave. Very soft. Very soft wave. You want to distribute what you just did now. And so distribute slowly. Soft movement. You want to lubricate. So some people may want to go down, really down. Some people just stay up. So explore what feels good for me, for my back, for my spine now. And when you ask this to your body, wait for the answer from your body. So that's called body awareness. And in Ayurveda, also, we spoke last week in the retreat with Uli that it was super important, and this body awareness, because then you can adjust. One more. Okay. And shake a little bit. So you remember when we are on the floor and we do this movement, we are on the floor, the knees open, and we go from side to side, okay? So we're gonna do this on the chair. So one day, if we do it on the floor and you can't, you do it on the chair, okay? So let's move from one side to the other. So you can hold your chair or your stool and you just go from one side to the other and sense what's happening in your hip joint. Also, there's a nice rotation, there's a nice movement. And then maybe you want to add your arm like we do usually. And you add the arm going from one side to the other. And inhaling and exhaling, or exhaling and inhaling. Explore. And maybe you want to push with your hand on the chair and lift. And then you push on the chair and you lift. Maybe, maybe not. And then you push and you lift. And you push and you lift. Or maybe you stay with you on your chair. Or maybe you want to go down on the side, maybe down. So all this is for you to explore, so you can really adjust and do what feels good for you, not for me, not for someone else, just for your belly, your belt, your lower back, your entire spine. And then coming back to center and exploring a movement of rotation. So nice, soft rotation, maybe going again big or staying small. If going big is not good, then I stay small. If going big feels super good, then go big with your body on the chair. And let's go to the other direction. Soft exploration here. And then maybe going bigger. And know that when you move, you create circulation inside the body. And circulation means that you are encouraging healing. Healing doesn't happen when everything is stuck. Healing happens when you create a movement inside, means change. And then let's come back to center. Ooh. And sense. You may sense like tinglings or warmth. And we're going to take the right foot on the left knee. Take your fingers and each finger inside each toes. And then we do rotations with the ankle. So you see here, we would have been sitting on the floor. And for some people, and maybe not you who are here, and then other direction, it's not possible to sit cross-legged so long. Okay? So that's why we have a chair. Like, that's why this practice is also for elder people, it's for anyone. And then let's flex the toes and point. Flex and point. Flex, point. And then we do rub. And then we massage the foot, the sole of the foot, the entire foot. And then from here, you hold and you rotate the ankle one direction. So again, you can hold your leg here. You don't, I'm doing this to show you, but you can hold here, okay, if it's better for you. You can hold down and then other direction. And then the knee, one direction. And then other direction. And then rotation onto the hip, one direction. And then other direction. And here we take the leg back and we turn, we take one hand onto the hip and we mobilize the hip. And maybe with the arm, and you send your arm away. And again, arm, and feel how it feels maybe good. Like for me, it feels good onto my hip flexor. To stretch. Maybe I really want to go down. Maybe I stay up and back. So you can always adjust. And then from here, I come back to center. I take my ankle to knee. And here I will move forward. I take my sit bones back. I straighten my spine and I'm there. Exploring. And then maybe you want to completely relax the back. Relax the back on it and just explore what it feels into the hip. And then you inhale, arch, exhale, round. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. We do cat-cow. And exhale, round. One more. Coming back to center and release. And check. And so if today really the intention is to be into the present moment, what feels my right side now and what feels my left side? And is there any difference between my right and my left side? Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe if I stay a little bit more, I will even have some adjectives. I will even have some interesting adjective to name what is the difference. And then let's go to the other. So ankle to knee. I put each finger in between my toes and I flex and point. Flex, point. Flex, point. Really flex point. And then rotation, one direction. And then the other direction. And then from here, I rub the foot. And then a massage the toes, the sole of my foot. So I awaken some sensations, some grounding sensation actually. And then from here, rotation in one direction, the other direction. And then the knee, one direction. And then other direction. And then the hip, one direction. And other. And then I take my foot on the back. And with my hand onto my hip, I'm mobilizing my hip joint. Soft. You want really to the head of the femur to be able to be mobilized, like to slide and glide. That's nice. And then I add my arm to the back to up or maybe down. Oh. Exploring. And again, creating such a body awareness that you can more and more, the more you practice this in that way, the more you can fine tune whatever feels, maybe staying a little bit more. And then you come back. You take your ankle to the knee again. And then from here, you arch the back. And you stay with arching the back. Make sure there is nothing that is contracting, constricting. And then maybe you want to relax completely. And then you want to do cat-cow, arch and round, and arch and round. Two more. Coming back to neutral, taking feet on the floor, shake, sense. And then from here, we're going to push and come onto a standing position. So we just for a little bit take the chair on the side, come on onto standing. And into the standing position, I'm sensing, maybe open your feet a bit wider and let's do rotations without controlling. So rotations in one direction. And then the other direction. And then taking the knees together, the feet together, rotations, one direction. Another direction. And then hands onto the hips, taking your right foot back and rotation onto the toes and the ankles. And other direction. And then let's go to the other foot, rotations. massaging, again, continuing this nice massage into the toes and other direction. And then shaking a little bit and rotating the wrist in one direction. And you see, I like to continue moving. So if it's also for you, just do so. And then other direction. And then the elbows, one direction. And then other direction. And then rotation into the shoulders too. And other direction. And then mobilizing the entire body. We're gonna, so you can have the chair in front of you. So if you need so, now let's just say that we're going to do the inhale up and exhale down. But let's say that the exhale down is too much for you today. So you put the chair in front of you and you inhale up. And as you exhale, you take your hands on the chair and you check how does that feel here. You inhale, you push in with your hands into the chair, you look up and forward, and you exhale, you release. Hands onto the hips, inhale, rise. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, all the way down. So if you want to go all the way down, you can. If it's not for you today, you take your hands onto the chair. Inhale, look up and forward. Exhale, release. Hands onto the hips. Inhale up and release. One more. Inhale, arms up. So lengthen the side body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold and release. Hands onto the hips. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Shake the body. Now, downward facing dog. You turn your chair, you put your hands onto the top of the chair, okay? So let's say downward facing dog, opening, taking your hands onto the chair, taking your feet back, extending. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, last one, inhale, exhale 5. Looking forward, bend your knees, and we're gonna move the dog. So you move, you bend the knees and you come forward, and you bend the knees and you come forward. Soft, so you can have hands on the chair, you can have hands on the wall. It's exactly the same. And if you need, you can always adjust, always do the movement. Now let's do the opposite direction. So you go straight, you bend the knees and you go back. You go straight like a plank and you bend the knees and you extend. And again, plank, straight, bend the knees, downward dog. Plank, straight, bend the knees, downward dog. One more, plank, straight, bend the knees, downward dog. From the downward dog, you bend your knees, you look forward, you walk forward. You inhale, you look up, so you can always have your hands on your knees. Exhale, fold. Hands on the hips. Inhale, rise. And shake, hips, side to side. So now we're going to go back on the chair. We're going to learn how we do lunge on the chair. And then we're going to do lunge and downward dog. And you adjust chair, no chair. Okay, so how do we do a lunge here? So let's say I'm going to turn my right foot to the front. I'm going to turn my left foot back. So I'm going to put it in a way that you can see better. Okay, so right foot turns forward, back foot, and left foot back. So here I am on a lunge, keeping my hands first onto the hips. And then you see I adjust. Look, my foot was a little bit more too much in the front. So I adjust my foot so it is right underneath my knee. I ground my foot. And then from here, I can take my arms up. I'm in a lunge. And I don't know if you feel, but it feels super nice here onto the hip flexor. Maybe I can grab my left wrist and pull myself through the right. Ah. And then from here, I come up, interlacing. So movement with the arms up and back, and up, back again, up, back. This time I interlace my fingers to the back. I extend my arms, opening the front body. Ah. And then I release, coming back to the center. Whew. I turn my left foot forward, turn my right leg back, coming into a lunge. So hands onto the hips. Yeah. So allow yourself, and sometimes when we are standing, it's more difficult to feel that nice stretch here. So you tilt the pelvis and you don't have an arch, and you tilt the pelvis under, you engage your belly, very important. And then from here, maybe you can take your arms up. So the belly is working. And if the arms up, it's not good for you, you keep your hands on your hips. Yes. And we breathe, expanding the side body. And then maybe I can grab my right wrist and pull to the side. Or if my hands are on the hips, I go gently to the side, Natalia. You can just also put your hands on your hips and just go with the hands on the hips. Or if you can grab the arm, you pull. And then I come back up. Let's do circles. 1, 2, engaging the core. 3, and then hands to the back. You inhale, you open the heart. And exhale, release, and come back to center. And shake. Shake. So now we're going to do the same things, okay, but without the chair, unless you need the chair. Okay? So if you need the chair, you keep it with you and you do the stuff with the chair. Otherwise, we're going to do it without the chair and explore. So let's take the arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. And here, like I always say also, you can have blocks, okay? You inhale, you look up and forward. You exhale, release. Let's take the left foot back. So we have blocks or not. And then hands onto the hips. And explore that. So it's the same, but this time we don't have the chair. And again, you can do it on the chair if it's necessary. Maybe you can take your arms up, maybe not. Let's grab the left wrist and pull to the right. And then we come back to center. Let's do rotations. 1, 2, 3. Taking your arms in the back, extending. And then from here, hands on the blocks. Let's take the back knee to the floor. And you extend. Forward and forward. You extend the front foot, you come back. You extend and you come back. So from here, downward dog. You may want to bend one knee, extend the other, and mobilize the hips from side to side. You may want to come into a plank, taking your knees to the floor and going all the way down. Inhaling with a little, maybe a mini cobra, maybe a big cobra, maybe a upper dog. And then you push, sit to heels and downward facing dog. And then from here, you bend your knees, you walk your hands towards your feet, hands onto the hips, inhale, rise. And we go back to the front. You inhale, arms up, lengthen. And you exhale, fold forward and down. You inhale, look up and forward. You exhale, you release. So you can have hands on the blocks, hands on no blocks. And you take your right foot back. So I really like props because I feel that when we use them, we are facilitating the practice. And when we facilitate the practice, when we are not going always intense, then there is something that is released. And it's not about what we are doing. It's more about how we are doing it. So can I release tension into this practice, into my pose now? And then from here, hands maybe on the knee, hands on the hips, we stay into this high lunge. And yeah, if I engage a little bit more my belly, then I can relax my lower back. So you stay here, or if it's available, you take your arms up. And then you grab your right wrist and maybe you can pull to the side. And then you come back up. And let's do circles. 1, 2, and 3. I'm still having my belly working. And then I interlace the fingers, open the heart. And then from here, maybe I can put my hands back on the blocks or on the floor and take my knee on the floor. And then I'm going to extend my front leg, flex the foot and come back. And then extend, flex the foot and come back. One more. And extend, flex and come back. I'm taking the blocks away, hands on the floor, downward facing dog. That you can do on a chair. For those who are watching the recording, you can always stop and adjust. And then from here, you bend your knees, you come into plank. And without your knees, you go down. Let's do mini, cobra, or big, or upper dog. And then let's push back, sit to heels, and downward facing dog. Let's bend one knee and extend the other and mobilize hips from side to side. And then as I bend my knees really well, I just move my hands towards my feet, taking my hands onto my hips and rise. And then here I can have some tapping into my lower back and my hips, my lower back. And then I'm going to take my chair again and sit on the chair. And it's, if for you it's much more comfortable to be seated on the floor, you can sit on the floor, of course. So chair or floor. Just exploring. So in this present moment, what's happening in my body? And for some of you, the chair may have been a different experience, helpful, not helpful. So what is it that really I was needed today? And the next invitation is to put your attention on your breath. And inhaling, counting 4. Hold, counting 4. Exhale, count 4. Hold, count 4. Inspire, compte 4. Retiens la respiration, compte 4. Expire, compte 4. Retiens la respiration, compte 4. And you continue at your own pace. And since I am really in tune with the present moment, not what I was doing 2 weeks ago, yesterday, now, maybe 4, it's too much. And I need to do 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. Maybe 4 is not enough. So I need to do 5. So adjust accordingly so it feels comfortable for you right now. And this is the square breathing. So and you take your time. We arrive, and when we arrive at the end of a practice, it's like the end of a day, the end of a cycle. We slowing down to allow integration of what we've done. Let's do 2 more cycles. 2 cycles supplémentaires. Can I relax when I pause in between the breath? And can I stay present with my body sensations when I go back to my natural breathing? We're going to do a little bit of cardiac coherence. You inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you continue at your own pace, trying to keep a rhythm, the same rhythm, not too low, not too fast. If you can keep this, few more. Last one. And you release. And we're going to gently release the chair and move on to Shavasana, so on the back. And again, if the movement, this changing movement, it's too complicated for some people, and you just move onto, you stay onto the chair. Otherwise, we lie on the back. Now, you may want, before completely extending your legs, you may want to have your knees on the chest and just rock side to side. Massaging your lower back. You can rotate the knees, you open the knees and you close, you open and close, open and close. And then other direction, open and close, open and close. And then you release your legs on the floor. Maybe covering yourself if it's cold or not. And as we are today into this present moment and into this felt sense, this body awareness and what our body is telling us. Because how many times you've been pushing yourself until it's really hurting, okay? And I am the first one who's done that a lot. So is it possible to sense it before, to be present with this before? And you're gonna put your attention on the places in your body that I'm gonna name. So your left hand, left arm, all the way to your left shoulder. Your right foot, right leg, all the way up to your right hip. Your left foot, left leg, all the way to the left hip. Your right hand, right arm, all the way to the right shoulder. Your two shoulders at the same time. Your neck, the front, the back, the sides, the right side, the left side, the face, my whole face, the head with the top, the sides, the back of the head touching the ground, and then again the back of my neck, my upper back, middle back, lower back. Maybe, again, maybe you can have a sense of where is your coccyx. Where is your tailbone? And then putting your attention on your belly. Your chest, your rib cage, with a sense of the heartbeat, maybe. Or the expansion and the contraction of your lungs. Feel with the air and emptying the air. Maybe an overall sense of the body. My whole body. My whole body awareness. Allowing a sigh if it's happening, a yawn, and slowly allowing also the felt sense of wanting to move and stretch and explore. Like when we wake up in the morning, the first thing that the body is doing is really like fidgeting a little bit and swaying and stretching and twisting and doing some things without having to think about it. And then slowly rolling over one side and coming onto a sitting position, either on the floor or on a chair if it's not happening for you on the floor. And having this sensation, okay, what is different when I sit now? Now we're going to rub the hands together. We're going to rub the thighs and the knees and the thighs. And maybe having one hand on the heart and one hand on the solar plexus. Having an intention for the day, at least. Maybe continuing this body awareness and being in the present moment for the needs of my system, physical body, mind, to heal myself, to feel better. What do I need moment to moment? And the weekend is good to do that, to explore that. Taking your hands in Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. And bowing the head. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'm going to close the recording. Thank you for those who watched the recording.